Hey guys, my name is Sonali and you're watching Sonali Reads episode 7. Today we are going to discuss the number one book on personal finance, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you have always wondered how the rich manage to stay rich, how the poor become more poor, and how the middle class are still stuck in the middle, then you should definitely watch this video till the end. And guys, I know I don't like to say this much, but I think I should practice saying it more often, because I'm uncomfortable saying it, but I need to say it. Please hit that subscribe button, press that bell icon. Let's start by saying that our school education or the education that we receive in school does not teach us how to create money. It only teaches us that you need to go study, get a degree, get a job, and from there you have to work hard to get money. But that is not the case when you want to become wealthy. That may be the case if you want to pay, just about survive. But it's not the case if you want to become wealthy, or if you have a mindset of living and being a rich person. Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of this book, basically breaks down step by step how he began to learn the art of personal finance and how he began from a very humble beginning, but actually he's now a very well-established author. He's an investor, and he continues to become more and more wealthy as we speak. So let's talk about how the book is actually written. So the book is in a story format, the kind of book I really like. So I'm a type of a person who do not like stories that get carried away, and I need those jewels and those wisdom points to come very often. So the book is comprised in a very intelligent manner. There are I guess there are 8 chapters, and after each chapter there's a summary of the book. So when you read each chapter, you will feel as if Robert Kiyosaki is actually narrating you the story of how he learned the art of financial management, financial IQ as he says. And in the book summary, it's all written in a third person point of view. So let's talk about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Who is Rich Dad and who is Poor Dad? So it's not that Robert Kiyosaki actually had 2 dads, which is what I also thought in the first place. Poor Dad is his actual dad, like it's his biological father. So his dad, which he refers to as Poor Dad, is a very well-educated person, does a very good job, but still is a poor man. Still, has huge struggle saving up money, and cannot possibly accumulate wealth and stuff like that. He's struggling. Even though he's very educated, he's still struggling. On the contrary, Rich Dad is actually his childhood friend Mike's dad, who has, I think, not even passed high school, but eventually goes on to become the richest man in Hawaii, where they live, right? So what he does is, from an early age, him and Mike, his friend, want to learn how do people become rich, because they were poor and they went to a school where the wealthy people's children were going, and they were kind of being bullied and kind of being cornered just because all these rich kids want to have their own group. So they wanted also to be a part of that rich group, and they were thinking that if we become rich, then we'll have an equal respect in our school and in our society, right? So they were wondering, how can we become rich? So this is where the training starts. Rich Dad trains them with all the jewels, all the wisdom that he knows throughout the book, and that's how he narrates the story. So obviously I'm not going to tell you the story step by step, chapter by chapter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly what I have learned from the book and exactly what you need to learn and you need to apply. So like I mentioned at the early beginning of the video, that school teaches us that we need to get educated in order to earn money, but it does not actually make us financially literate, financially educated. This book takes you along that path. So the first step to being financially literate is to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something which puts income in your pocket, and a liability is something which takes that income out of your pocket. Simple. So if you want to become rich, you have to put your money in assets and not in liabilities. Now, it's pretty simple, but not really simple, right? So let's talk about what actually we mean by assets. A couple of you may be wondering, is home an asset? Well, sorry to break it to you, home is not an asset. I'll tell you why. When you buy a home, first of all, you pay like a down payment, which is a lump sum amount of money. Then you keep on paying the loan amount, the house amount with the interest monthly, which takes out money from your pocket. So the book teaches us something very vital, which is that the poor and the middle class work for money, but the rich have money work for them. So how does that happen? It happens with the use of assets. So assets are something which generates income where you don't need to be actively participating in it. Let me give you a few examples. Like businesses which run passively without your active engagement, investment in stocks, bonds, notes, royalties from music, CDs and books, and then comes real estate. Now by real estate, I do not again mean buying a home, I mean giving your home for rent from where you get income. Now, what is the use of these assets? How do we actually use these assets to give us income and then to make us rich? Let me explain. So let's talk about cash flow. First, let's start with the poor person. A poor person has a job. From there, he gets his income or his salary. From that income, he takes care of his expenses, which is his housing, his loan, his food, etc. Basic stuff. Then comes the middle class person. Job, salary. From there, he has to take care of his liabilities, which is loan, mortgage, rent, credit card, so on and so forth. And from then, he gets his expenses. Okay. But now let's talk about the rich person. What does he do? He does not fulfill his liabilities or his expenses with the use of his actual income or his job income. What he does is he uses the amount that he gets from the asset side to fulfill his expense column. So whenever he gets the amount from his job, instead of paying off his expenses, he first puts it into the asset column. Then whatever is left is taken care of from the asset column directly for the expenses. How will you start this entire process of accumulating assets? Well, it starts with having a financial literacy, which means financial IQ. Financial IQ comprises of 4 qualities. Knowledge about 4 subjects: accountancy, investment, market, and law. Accountancy means the game of numbers, knowing the strength and weakness of a company. Investment means the science and strategy of money making. Market means understanding the supply and demand of a market. And law means understanding the law so that you can use it to your advantage. Now, along with financial IQ, you need a couple of skills. First comes management, managing cash flow, managing people, and managing systems. Then comes the skill of sales and marketing. And then comes communication, speaking, writing, and negotiating. So let's talk about a few characteristics of the rich people. A major difference between the rich and the poor is how they handle failure. The rich people use failure as an inspiration to learn from and to grow from. The poor people fear rejection, fear failure, and play it safe all the time. Then comes cynicism. Doubt is expensive. When you start your journey of investing or personal finance, when you start, taking risks with money, a lot of people will tell you not to do it and to again play it safe. Please do not listen to people who have not done it. Instead, look for people who can actually guide you, who have already done it and have reached the place where you want to reach. Then comes laziness. Please eliminate that attitude of saying, I can't afford it, and replace it by saying, how can I afford it? When you say something like, I can't afford it, you tell your brain that there's no work needed to be done. But when you say, how can I afford it? You open your mind to possibilities where your brain starts thinking as to how you can generate income to get that particular thing. Now let's talk about a couple of practical to-dos. Number 1, stop making stupid expenses. Control your expenses. Do not spend your money on luxuries as of now. Luxuries are to be done when you have enough money generated from the asset, then you use that income to buy luxuries. Number 2, educate yourself. Before investing in anything, your mind needs to, we give a lot of importance to money. But in today's age, information is the most valuable thing ever, right? So you need to educate your brain first before you start spurting out money and before you expect you're going to hit some lottery, okay? So in order to educate yourself, go and, attend some seminars, buy some courses, buy some books, listen to some audiobooks, do everything you can to educate yourself. Number 3, be aware of who you hang around with. We all have different kinds of friends. Now, some friends may be poor, some friends may be rich. When it comes to poor friends, do not make the decisions that they make. Learn from their mistakes. Learn what not to do. When it comes to rich friends, understand that if they are investors or if they are people who are making money, so try to understand from where they are doing it so that they can teach you and take you along. Number 4, action always beats inaction. Please take action once you have educated yourself. Start small, but please start. And the last thing, a lot of people want to earn money, they expect money, but you will only get something once you give. So if you want money, you have to first give money. So if you want knowledge, you first have to give knowledge. Every great leader, every rich person is first a teacher and then a student. So that is all for this book review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please put your thoughts in the comment box below, and I would love to answer some of your questions. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week.